Hi, this winter is going to be very harsh because the Indians have gathered a lot of wood and timber, and I bought cheap tools from a supermarket, from Lidl, and this is the tool I'll be talking about today. It's called Parkside, and it is a high-speed rotary cutting tool, and that's used for cutting and grinding some small finer work. The colloquial name for this is Dremel, because Dremel was the first manufacturer who made these kinds of tools, or among the first ones, but at least the first popular one. And now the proper name in English, I don't know how it is pronounced, but you see what it's about. Dremel is now owned by Bosch, and from what I could tell, Bosch is the only manufacturer who makes these kinds of tools properly. I will quickly show it and then I'll talk a bit more. Let's see what this video is about. Here is the tool. This is what I'm talking about, a tool that can be made to spin very quickly when you add something on top and cut or yeah, that's about it. And the quality tools that are made, at least judging from the prospects and the schemes and the parts and manuals, the high quality is made by Bosch. I'm not paid to advertise them. I haven't even seen it or held it in my hand. I'm just talking about what I could tell. Why I think Bosch is the best, or the only properly built one from all that I could see and figure out, is because they have electronics inside that have built-in protection in case when you are spinning this fast and it becomes blocked for whatever reason, so that nothing inside gets burned out from any overload. That's an important thing for durability, and it generally looks like a very properly built, their blue professional series of tools. So I can only assume that this tool is also like the other ones that I've used from their series. And they also have a cool thing that you can use one charger and one battery to run a whole series of different electric power tools that run on batteries. And they have about 3 standards, if I'm not wrong. They have one for very small tools that look a bit like this one and smaller, but this is not a professional series, so it does not have the interchangeable battery for a series of tools and one universal charger. But they have one standard for small tools, another standard for mid-sized tools, and a third standard for more powered tools like drills and so on. And I like using battery run tools because it's more convenient in practice. Even though I have a lot of sockets around my garage, I still prefer to just use a tool without a cord. Modern lithium-ion batteries run for a long time and are very good to use, so that is my preferred choice. And the problem is that Bosch costs around $200, even more perhaps, to get it in my country, at least with that one tool and only one battery and only one charger. Even that starting set would set me back for a relatively high amount, at least for relative to my monthly pay. And this thing cost about a tenth of that. It costs about $25. And the things that I don't like about this tool, first thing, this package is relatively useless because it's very difficult to get this back inside. It's highly impractical and it's poorly designed. So I will probably keep it in a separate toolbox that I have. This is user manual that's not very helpful. I couldn't make a good use of it, so I had to rely and resort to YouTube and Google to see how this works. These additions and sockets, here is the charger, that's it, and it gets plugged on the bottom end of the tool, and it's symmetrical, so no matter how you plug it in, it will work. This interface is more or less standard. It's a 12-volt battery, and the charger is 13 volts and 1.5 ampere, so it will charge relatively quickly, this tool, and that's good. This one is already charged. We can show that. Let's plug it in. Here, when you see this is almost empty, this is middle, and when the green light comes on, it's fully charged. It has those three markers, and it seems to run even when it is on charger. For some tools and for some people that could be important. I'm not sure if that is a good idea to do, but it technically can be done. The operation is simple. This is to turn it on and off on the back, and here on the top you get to set the speed rotating from the slowest to 6, that's almost maximum, and to maximum power. This is used to block the turning of this as a whole unit. So when you keep it blocked, you press this in and hold it, then you can unscrew it and replace the holder of whichever tool you're using. It comes with several different diameter holders to hold both the relatively wide tools, see this one won't fit easily, and to hold relatively small tools. This one also has too much play. So here this tool comes with several different sizes, so you can find the matching one and use the closest matching one to fit your tool, and make sure that it fits properly, that it's properly seated when you're using it. This is also quite impractical. I don't like this, so I bought this like a, I don't know what this is called, but here I can easily and conveniently place all the bits and pieces in their proper separate containers and carry it wherever I go. And the tool comes with a set of grinding stones and cutting discs that are not very good for cutting hardened steel, and it comes with some diamond drill bits and some for grinding bits, and this like brass wire and plastic wire and small drill bits that look like they are of very poor quality, so I would not rely on these. But the tool is important in this case for me, and these other extras are just that, extras. I knew I would have to rely on some aftermarket things to get it working. And this one has another downside, because the manufacturer says that the maximum diameter of the tools that you use with it for cutting and other stuff is 25 millimeters in diameter. And the high quality bits that I can find are of a greater diameter, 32 millimeters. Here, this is also bought in Lidl. Some more grinding stones that I will make use of, some polishing paste and polishing discs, some diamond drill bits that are good for carving something into wood or something, and these are cutting tools. These ones are a bit stronger, probably a bit better to use on hardened steel. And this was all cheap, about $2 for a package. And that's it, that comes with it. But this tool has one safety problem, and I will try to demonstrate it here now without injuring anyone. Okay, another thing is that I forgot to add related to that is these cutting stones that come with it are mounted on these holders, and you get 2 of these in the package. That's convenient if I were to use them, and they are used by unscrewing this. Here, just let me find the tool for tightening this. Just a second. This is the tool that comes with it for tightening and loosening it, and it's designed so that you can also use it as a screwdriver. I want to thank one of my Serbian channel subscribers for letting me know, but I prefer to use a proper screwdriver. It's always at hand. Phillips one tip does it. I'll probably put a link now to my video about screwdrivers and why not every Phillips is not a Phillips. So here it is. I unscrew this, and it has like two of these small plastic or rubbery things. One goes to the bottom, and then you place the cutting tool, and then you put the other one. These are very easy to lose, so be careful. And then I'm screwing it all back in very carefully, trying not to cross thread it. All right, and now I'll tighten it. Okay, now I need to hold it in place, and let's see if this one fits. No, this is too narrow. Okay, try this one, too narrow. And let's try this one. This is just about right, so it's just a bit narrower than the tool, so when I place it and lock it in, it will hold. This thing pushes onto these as they are put at an angle, and it compresses them together to hold this in place firmly. So first I need to make sure that gravity works for me, slide this on top, but I need to lock this so this doesn't turn. This way this whole thing turns, but when I hold it in place and okay, now it's locked. Okay, now I can put this on. I'm not tightening it all the way. Now I'm first going to insert this, pushing it to make sure that it's all the way seated, and tightening at the same time. Okay, now I'll use this tool to tighten it properly. This is just a bit narrower than a 10 millimeter wrench, so it may have been designed as a 10 millimeter adapter, but the manufacturing made it just a bit smaller, and so is this tool. When you use an ordinary 10 millimeter wrench, it just has too much play. This one has minimum play, so it's a bit smaller. Maybe it's not metric. Give me the metric system or give me that. Okay, now I'll tighten this to make sure that it's properly tightened, and now I should be able to cut. The first thing that I don't like about this tool, is that this is not in a safe place. I would prefer to have a switch somewhere here where my hand is when I'm working, so that, and that switch should be such that only when I'm pressing on it, it works, and when I let it go, it stops. So in case I drop the tool stops working and it's relatively safe. This way is not very convenient and not very safe. The ideal setup would be to have that kind of switch and another locking mechanism that enables me to like hold that switch pressed and then lock it for when I want to put this tool in a vise or some other holder and use it as a stationary. That would be ideal. I don't know if such tools are available. I haven't been able to figure out whether Bosch makes it like that. If they do, it's brilliant. If they also make something like this, I think it's a bad idea, it's not safe. But I don't know about them. I know this tool, and this is something that I don't like. Here, let me show you. This tool has a switch like that. Only when I'm holding it pressed, it works. And when I release it, it stops. It will not work. The downside is that this doesn't have a locking mechanism, but it's such a small tool that does not really need it. I would never put this in some kind of holder or use it like that, because it's not a real drill, it's just a screwdriver, electrical. Okay, now when I'm using this, because of all the things that I said, and because this is very thin and it spins very quickly, I would not advise using this tool without any eye protection. And probably a good idea is to use some gloves and some protection for your arms, because this spins quickly and it could probably make a big cut. And that brings us to the first problem. Here I can make myself look even more stupid, but if I try to use this with a glove, I would not be able to conveniently work this. I'm having problems quickly turning this on or off. So I should use one hand without the glove and the other hand with the glove. That's the first problem. The other problem is this is fixed. It's not moving I'm not able to move it at any angle. So when I'm cutting, all the tools and all the drills, when you're not using it for grinding with grinding stones but for cutting, have a dedicated amount of how deep you can make a cut. And with these tools it's surprisingly shallow cuts, and even when you're doing that, if you put it at an angle while it's in a cut, while it's already entered material, and you put it at an angle, it can break quickly and have the sharp parts flying all over. I will demonstrate it here now without even turning it on. Physics is most probably, and mechanics very similar even in that case. I'm not sure where this will fly off, but let's see, it should fly towards me. So if I press it at an angle, see, it doesn't take any effort. Just press it at an angle slightly and it cracks instantly. I don't like that. There is a solution. Let's first remove this. I'm unscrewing this. Okay. And now, this is another company, Dremel, SpeedClic. I'll put Amazon links to see the price of this product. This is a set, and it comes with a really neat patent, and let's show it. It comes with two drills for two discs for cutting plastics, PVC, they're marked. Two that are very thin for cutting very softer metals that are not hardened steel, and has 6 of these discs for cutting hardened steel, which is what I will use to make an improvised thread cleaner for bottom brackets. Let's open it. And see why this is better. Okay, it's got this like a stitch. I need to loosen this first. Okay, almost free. One side and the other side as well. Let's let it go. Okay, now it's free wheelie. Okay, good. What else is in the package? I will need to consult instruction manual, but it has like these brackets, so you can put these inside and hold it all in one place, and it closes neatly. But I will use another sorting for that. But it's not too bad. It's not too flimsy. But as you can see, it's not too good either. Anyway, it's made in China. And this is the user manual. Let's read the manual just in case. Okay, here it explains how the discs are attached. So it needs to be safely locked. Okay, I get it. And this is the part that of the safety mechanism. I will mount it first here, and then I'll talk about it. First, let's see if it fits this one, or I need a wider one. Okay. This is narrow, and this is the right one, I suppose. Yes, it looks good. Yes, that's perfect. This is the one we will use. Okay. First I want to lock this in place. It's the same principle. I'm pushing it down to go all the way down, and now I'm tightening this with my hand. Okay, now let's use this tool. Alright. It's pretty tight now. And let's place a disc for cutting steel on top of it. So let's see if I got this right. The user manual says I should pull this towards me, then place this over the tool. It should go over. Let's see, maybe it's not symmetric. Okay, it's not going in easily, but I managed to do it. And now I should turn it around by 90 degrees so it cannot fall out. And now it's held securely in place when I release this. I pull and release. So this is the way it should do. Let's double check. Yes, I think I got it right. Yes, that's it. I got it right. Okay, and now the good part about this is that this tool allows me to make a small mistake without breaking anything, because it gives this disc a bit of place. So when I place it on this at the wrong angle, you see, nothing happens. You still need to be careful, but I don't consider it to be an inherently dangerous patent as this one that I've shown. So I would not recommend using this and pay the extra $25 for this. This holder is the thing, and then you just buy the discs. It's a rip-off in my opinion. It's too expensive. You cannot get these discs cheaply in my country, but I don't use this very often, and I think that saving your health is important. So let's see how this works. Let's give it a test. Here I have an old Italian bottom bracket. It's from a cup and cone bottom bracket, and I tried to use a simple angle grinder to make cuts in it to sort of make an improvised thread cleaner. It's not for chasing threads, but for cleaning threads it works okay, but it is my thinking that making more sharp cuts with a tool that is thinner and sharper would help, and this looks like a perfect tool for the job. So I will test it now by placing this in a vise to hold it firmly in place and trying to make a cut using our tool. Okay. This will spin clockwise, so I will stand in this direction to have all the sparks going that way, hopefully, to have minimal damage to anyone in the workshop. Okay, I can only use one glove with this tool, and I will set it to 6. This diameter is greater than this tool is designed for. I expect it to have some problems spinning and doing any hard work, but hopefully this cut will do. And let's see if I am correct. Let's give it a try. Waiting for it to get to speed, and now I will try cutting. Okay, let's see what we have. It could be still too hot, and hot metal looks just like cold metal unless it's red hot, but okay. It's a lot sharper. I've got what I wanted to achieve. The cut is deep enough, it goes all the way to the bottom of the threads, and so I am happy with this result, and it cuts very easily into this. So and this is about it. Thank you for watching. I hope this will help you make an informed decision. I will put more videos and maybe even video comments on this video after I've tested this for some time. I don't use this tool very often, and that's why I could not afford and was not prepared to give that much money for Bosch, even though I would like to be able to make a comparison and see firsthand why Bosch costs what it costs. I think it's probably worth it if you're using the tool regularly, and if you're using it only occasionally, like a few times a year or so, I will know in a few months if this is good enough. It does not look promising. I cannot say that I regret already having bought it, but I would not be surprised if after some work I conclude that it's not very good. My biggest complaints are that safety feature of this switch. I really don't like that, and the prescribed by the manufacturer maximum diameter of the cutting disc that is very small. That's many of these cutting discs come with 32 millimeter diameter or so. So those are the downsides, and that's all I have for this video, and cheers. If you like this video, you can click on subscribe and choose this bell option, select all, so you get notified whenever I upload a new video.